Hello everyone, this is Adeboye Thompson from Lagos, Nigeria. In this video tutorial, I'm going to be showing how to use the new version of ConsoleCraft version 2.0. I just released it and I'm going to be designing this Willis-style console layout. What's unique about this are the stops mainly because as you can see, instead of the flat style CODM stops, these are actually draw knobs that you can push in, pull out like the commercial sample sets do have. Also, it has custom nameplates as you can see. So I'll just be showing how to put together this manual real quick. I'd also add the pedals. So down here I add the pedals. I'll add the manuals, three manuals, and probably some pistons and things like that, just to show some of the new features. Again, I'm trying to keep all my videos short because I notice people find it difficult to follow long videos to the end. However, after this video, the next video is going to be showing me build the full complete sentence mostly organ from scratch, and I'm going to be adding a third manual. As you can see already in the third manual, we're going to take stops from sentence mostly itself and then build a bombard division. So we'll call the third manual with the Bombarde division, and it's going to have stops that will pick out from sentence mostly itself. Some would pitch up, some will pitch down, and just use it to build like our own bombard division. All right, guys, I'm really excited about this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please comment, like, subscribe, and I'll keep on shooting out more videos. As you can see, I'm constantly updating the code on ConsoleCraft, and much more is going to be coming out very soon. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the video. All right. Hello, guys. This is Adeboye Thompson with ConsoleCraft. In this video, we're going to get started building console sentence redesigned. So first, I'm going to give it a name. I'll call it sentence redesigned. Short name. Um, the sample package name, sentence, and the sample package short name, STLNS. And now I'll change the name of the producer to Adeboye Thompson. These IDs, I'll suggest you leave them as they are. Again, you can regenerate them if you want a different ID. Like the IDs have to fall within the range of 800,000 and 899,000 thereabouts. I have it right here so you can look at it. So whatever numbers you pick in have to fall within those range if you're doing the CODM route. Again, if you were going to get like a sample set license from Hauptwerk itself, then they could give you any number you want, I guess. But since we just doing this for ourselves, we just stick with the range that they give to us to use. So now I'm going to upload the background picture. I would select console 10. Again, these consoles are available on my website. The width of this console I already know is 2600 pixels and the height is 1300 pixels. I'll go ahead and just shrink down, and now I can see the entire console up front. Um, at this junction, I'll go ahead and add additional pages. So I'll add like a right Jamb. So right stop Jamb, and I'll add a left stop Jamb too. So left stop Jamb. Now I'll upload a background picture for both. Left, let's see. So this is the left. Oh no, not this one. So That's console 10. So this is the left stop jam, and this is the right stop jam. So we have this, we have this, and we have the console right here. Now go ahead and add the grid manual. I'll just roughly position everything in place, and then we'll go later and fine tune everything. I'll add the swell manual in place. And finally, I'll come here. I'll select the choir manual, but we're going to rename it Bombard. So I put it there, and I'll just change the name from choir to Bombard, and short name to will be Bombard, and that's it. So all we do right now is add the pedal division. So I'll pull this down here, right about here will do, and I'll go ahead and just resize the console so I can see much better and reposition everything properly. Uh, right now, I'm just going to roughly put this in place, like right about here. Now you can see this keyboard position X and keyboard position Y. There are things I just added, so like I can now click on this and do micro adjustments to it and adjust in place. Now I think I like this 1083, so I'll keep it at 1083 for everything. I'll set this one to 1083 also for the X position, and same with this. I'll set the X position to 1083. Now the Y, I would probably have to just do that by eye and just choose something that works. This is about fine for me. So, yep. And then finally, I'd come and just look at the pedal and try to kind of eyeball that to in place. Now, I'll click on the background picture, and I can come back here and add divisional and add general pistons. So like you'll see when I come here, it says enable general pistons. Once I click that, it's showing me 8. I can make it 10, but I want these pistons to show on the main page. You can add different styles of pistons, but again, this I've not yet I'm not going to go into adding custom pistons right now. Right now, I just want to focus on the on the stops and all those other things. So I'm just going to drag this right now and kind of position it right here. Let me increase the screen width so I can see better. Okay, so this is too wide for the place I want to put it. So what I'm going to do is hold the shift key, and now I'll squeeze everything. I can squeeze them together, as you can see. And now I can drag this back. But as you can see, they don't, it's kind of wobbled, but that's easy to fix. When you look here, you can see that there's a X position, first X position and last X position. We want the two to be on the same, I mean the Y position. So the first Y position is 1006, the second one is 1012. So I might just set this to 1012, and now you can see it's like on a straight line. So I'll go ahead and leave this general like right about here. Next, we're going to add divisional pistons. So again, I might just come here and shrink the screen down and select enable divisional pistons. And now it shows the divisional pistons. I'm just going to kind of drag them in place. So this is for the grade manual. I'll drag that over here. I will click on the swell manual, and I'll click enable divisional pistons also. Again, I'll pick this from here and drag like right there. We're still going to position everything finally, and then finally I'll click on the bombard division and click enable divisional pistons, and again I'll pick this right there and I'll drag it in place here. Now I'm going to go ahead and zoom back up That way I can fine tune everything and adjust in place. Um, this I might try to center a bit just like this. So I can see now that 496, 496 of for the Y position and 1135 and 1435 for the X position. So I'll click on the swell 1135 and I'll set this to 1135 also, and I'll set this to 1145. I think it was not wrong. Once I click out, it should adjust. Was it 1145? Let me make sure. 1130. I mean 1435. I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart. So 1435. Change this to 3, and now we're in good shape here. And now let's see for the great manual. 1135 for the first one and 1435 for the last one. So everything now is lined up in order. So you see, these are some of the features I just added, enabling you to fine tune things into place. Again, don't worry, all the names are not going to show when we finally do the organ. So now let's get to the business of the day, which is actually this customized stops and stuff. So what you do first is you click on the background. So I'm going to click on the background, and now I'm going to come down here. And now first thing we'll do is the nameplate. So you see it says add new label style. I'll click this. I'll click down, and right here I'll select an image. So I think I do have them here in my assets. So let's just select great, the great nameplate. So great plate, the PNG, and all we have to do is select one. Let me confirm the size of this plate because I'm not too sure. Okay, 100 by 86 pixels. So I'll set the clickable width to 100 and the clickable height to 86 pixels. And I'll change the name to Great Plate. Just the name of the label. It's something you use to remember that label. And I can close it up. And then again, we'll add another label for the pedal. So come here again. I'll say pedal plate for the name of the label. Come here, set the clickable width to 100 and the clickable height to 86, I think it was. And we'll come over here and choose the image. And again, I'll choose pedal plate. So now I can now click add nameplate, add label nameplate. So now this shows swell. I want to change this to great. So what I would do is just take off the label where it says swell, and now under these labels I'll choose great plates. Let's put that for pedal. So that's how I think the Willis-styles have them. So I could just call this the internal name for Hauptwerk to use as pedal plate. And now we have the pedal plate showing there. And next I would add another nameplate for the grate. I'll drag this up here too, and I'll set click off the name so it doesn't show anything. And then for the plate I'll choose grate plate, and now we choose grate, so I can change the internal name to grate plate. So now we have this. I can also have it show on a second page. So if I want it to show on the second page, so for instance the grate plate, let's say we want it to show on the right stop jamb, which is the second page, I'll click on that and it shows it has right stop jamb enabled. I can come there now, and now I can drag this anywhere I want. As you can see, it also has the X and Y position, so you can use to position it properly. Um, The same with the pedal plate, would have that show on the third page. So I'll click also show on a second page, and now we'll say left jamb. So yeah, and right here I'll just come here and pick this in place. We'll go back to the console. Now we'll go back and click on the on this. Let me quickly add like a swell box for you and show how that works. Unfortunately, I'm not adding any stops, but I'll just go ahead and just click on add expression pedal, and I will drag this right in place, kind of try and position it in the center. Again, you can use this to position it properly if you need to fine tune it, but this is kind of fine for me. So I would have my swell box here. As you can see, I would have to select what division it's going to control, which is the swell, and then I'll click apply. So now that I've clicked apply, the enclosure code has changed to 220, which is the enclosure code for the stops. Now, because I have no stops selected for the swell, it's not applying it to any stop yet, but I'll show how to enclose stops very soon as we get along to the next video, where I'll be actually building the full sentence organ. So next we're going to come down there, and now we're going to start to design the stops. So I'll come here to new stop slash coupler, and I'll click the drop down menu, and now I will say choose file. I have this on my desktop, so stops. So the first one I'm going to pick will be the open diapason. So I'll pick the off state, and then I have to pick the on state for the open diapason too. So that's the on state. Let me check the size of the stops so we can set them right. Desktop stops. The 84 by 62. So we change the clickable height to 62 pixels. 62 pixels, and that is about right. So I'll change the name to Up Diapason. I'll just call it Great. Open it, and I'll go ahead and close that. I'll add a second one. Click this and come down here again. Choose the off state. This time I'll choose the mixture rank. So great mixture. And somebody was asking me how you select the pitch for mixtures. Usually, if you look at mixtures, they have this lowest rank. In this one, it's a 15. So it means the lowest rank is a 2 foot. So the pitch will be set at 2 foot for that mixture. So basically, all the sentence mixtures are at 2 foot. So again, 15 will be a 2 foot mixture. 19 will be a 1 1/3. So I think the second one is 19. So that should be 1 1/3 for this organ. But for sentence, the second one too is still a 2 foot, which is 15. But that's how you can tell what pitch to set the mixture to. But we're not doing that right now, so I'm just going to click this to select the off state, and now I'm going to select the on state for that stop, and we'll call this great mixture, GRT mix. And again, I'll go ahead and minimize this, add new stop, and I hope I did set the, let me look at the mixture. Okay, so I didn't set the width correctly, so it's the height correctly, it's 62. So now the new stop, let me just set the height so I don't forget again. And now we choose the first file. That's going to be trumpet. So, and now the on state, and now I'll rename this great trumpet, GRGTR trump. Now what we can do is, okay, let's do for the pedal. Let's just get everything done once and for all. So I'll do for the pedals too. Again, I'll select this and choose file, pedal Bombard 32. Now do this, Bombarde on, set this to 62, and again come here and call this Bombard 32. Yeah, I'm sorry we're having to do it's so tedious, but it's what you have to do for every single stop if you want this custom style commercial grade sample sets. The commercial sample set creators to have to do the exact same thing. So next we'll select the mixture. So off state for the mixture, and now on state for the mixture, and this will be the pedal mixture. So come here and set the name to bed mix. Again, I'll minimize this, and finally I'll add the last one. I'll come here to choose the off state, and that is the open base 16. So that's the off state, and now this is the on state for open base 16. And now set the height to 62 and set the name to open base, open bars. Fantastic. So now that we have all this created, it's just a question of adding stops. So I'll just come here now and add stop, pull this in here for the grade manuals. So now another thing with the new version of Console Craft, as you can see, there's this panel here on the left. This allows me to select what the stops that I'm adding would be. You'll see what I'm saying in a minute. But if you look at this, you can see it's already applying it as a great stop, just as we have here. And if you scroll down, you can see the harmonic is set at 8, just as we have here. So I will go ahead and add other stops now, and you see everything will get the same setting. I'll add a third stop for the third grade stop, and you can see it still stays on grade. Now I'm going to change to pedal now. So I'll select pedal on the left, and now when I add a stop, as you can see, it shows pedal. So this allows me to kind of set things that way I don't have to be changing the properties panel a whole lot that much. And now I'll add the third stop for the pedals and pull that in place right here. So now that we have the 3 stops, right now I would increase the size so we can position things better and choose the stop styles. So the first one, I'm going to make the open diapason. So we'll come here to the stop, that's the control style, and now we want to select great open 8. So what we'll do is now we click off this display name, that way it shows nothing for the display name. I think the position is about right. I'll change the name to great open, and I can just copy this and use that same name for the rank. That's the name for the rank. The rank has to be unique for every stop. So let me just put grade open 8 just to even make it more unique. Now we select the second stop, and this time again I will choose this, but this one we want to make the great mixture. So I'll select GRT mix, and that's in place now. So I can come here, remove this, and now change this to great mix. I can copy this, and for the rank paste it again there. And finally, this is the final great stop. I think that's the great trumpet. So again, I would go ahead and click this off and select GRT trump and select everything, copy, come into the rank and paste it there and just put trumpet 8. So again, I can just decide to fine tune everything. That way I can set everything so they kind of position properly. Okay, so this is the Y position of this is 1828. So I can set this to 1828 also. So they're kind of like on the same line. This for this, I think I want the X to move in a bit. So I think this is fine. And maybe this should move out a bit too. So maybe about right here. So that's 1816. And then I'll set this to 1816 too. And now we can just go ahead and select the stops for each. So I would come in here and now choose the main sample folder. I'll go into my Hauptwerk. I want to select from sentence mostly. So an installation package 010, and we're on open the person 8 if I'm not wrong. So select this large open 8 and select that. So open the person 8, so great open. And again, this is very important, the harmonic, as you can see, is a 8-foot pitch, so we leave it at 8 foot. Now I'll select the mixture, and again we'll go ahead and select the rank for the mixture. I'll come in and look for mixture rank. Okay, so mixture 4. Again, like I said, the lowest rank on this is 15, which is a 2-foot. So you go ahead and set that as a 2-foot mixture. So I'll select this now for the mixture, and for the harmonic, I'll go ahead and select 2-foot. That way it sounds the way it's supposed to sound, so 2-foot. And now the trumpet, and now I choose the folder, select this to go back and look for trumpet. So trumpet 8, I'll select that, and again this is 8-foot. So now we can go back to this section. For this, I want to make that the Bombarde 32. So now that I've selected this stop, I'll come here and look for the stop control, and I'll select Bombarde 32. And we have Bombarde 32 now. I can just go ahead and position that like right about here. What I would do actually is to look at the Y position of this. So the Y position for this is 260. So I can just set this to 260 also, so they're in line. What's going on? Okay, so 260, and now it's they both line up together. So now that we've had Bombard selected, what I'm going to do now is now select a stop. Now we all know that sentence mostly has no 32-foot stop, so this is where we'll do the modulation. So I'll come here, I'll select this folder, and now I'll go ahead and select the Fagotto, Contra Fagotto 16, and select that. But instead of leaving it at the 8 harmonic or 16 harmonic, I'll select the 32 harmonic. So now it will sound like a 32-foot stop. Again, no enclosure. I'm not putting it under the swell. But if we did want to put it under the swell, we can put it under the swell enclosure. In fact, I forgot to name the enclosure, so let me go ahead and do that right now. We just have it as swell, new enclosure, so I'll just call it swell. So now if I were to select the stop and we were to go under the enclosure and I was to select this, you can see we see like the swell enclosure. But again, I'm not going to worry about the enclosures now. What I'll just show you real quick about the enclosures is the setting, because enclosures have various settings. Once we have stops, I'll be able to show you the various settings, because there are three major settings that you can pick for each of the enclosures that you decide to choose. But again, I'll show that in the subsequent video. Let's just go ahead and finish up with this now. The next will be the mixture. So the pedal mixture, that's ped mix. And again, I'll set the height to 260, so it's in line with the other one. And again, the name, I would take this out. I would also do the same thing right here. And let's not forget to give everything there. So this is Bombard. I'll set this as Bombard 32. Copy this and update the rank name. And this is bed mix. And update the rank name. Let me confirm that I actually have the same thing here. Yes, mix and trumpet. Okay, so that's done. So finally, we have this last stop here, which is going to be, let me see, that's the open bars. And again, I'll take this off and set this to open bars. I'll copy this and come here and paste this in place. We've selected the stop for this, I think. Yes, we did. About this, we've not selected the stop for the mixture, so I'll go ahead and select the stop for the mixture now. I think there's a mixture 3 here. Yes, add this. I select this as the stop for the mixture, and again the harmonic is going to be a 2-foot harmonic again. And then finally we have the open bars, open bars 16. So I'll go and select this again to add the stop. There's no open bar 16, but I think there's the open diapason 16, so I'll select that folder, and this is going to be set at 16 because it's a 16-foot stop. So finally, let me just check the position for this. The Y position for this is 398, and when I come in, so I'll just set, okay, let me set this to 384 instead, so it comes up a bit with the other one. 384. And now I know you're seeing this stuff, but it's not going to show when we get into Hauptwerk. So I'll just go ahead and set everything at 25, so we see it looking like this. I'll try and validate to make sure we have, okay, it says Swell enclosure isn't connected to any rank because we didn't connect it to any rank, but I don't think that will prevent it from running in Hauptwerk. So let me close this and we'll go ahead and export. I'll export to my desktop. Let me delete the old ones I had. Again, definition, delete. And now I'll just click outside here and select folder. And now it has exported both to my desktop. So now I can select my desktop and come into my organ definition. And where's my organ packages? Hold on, I don't see the packages. Let me delete this and re-export both again. So export Hauptwerk CAD and export to desktop. Okay. Okay, so now both both show. Yeah, so let me look in Upwork. I have custom definition opened. I'll come here and choose the organ definition. I'll copy this, Control C, come into the Upwork's custom definition folder and paste this here. Then I'll go into my Upwork packages, and if we go back to the desktop again, you can see we have packages, organ packages installation. I'll go ahead and select that, Control C, and come back into Upwork packages and paste that in, Control V. So right now I'll go ahead and open Upwork. Okay, so I'll select design and load organ, and I'll choose sentence. Okay. What is this? Short name has more than the 5 allowed characters. Okay, for Bombard. Okay, so it's saying the name on the Bombard division is too long. Currently this thing is not picking on that. So again, this will be now. If you get in a situation where you're clicking on it and this is happening, just click out here, pull it back up, and it should come up. So I'll just change this to Bombi. So let's just set it there because that's the only problem, I guess. And we'll export again to my desktop, select folder. It's going to override the current ones there. So I'll come here again, package, copy this, come in here and paste. Let's replace and come back here to the custom definition, come here, go to desktop and organ definition, select this, copy, come here and paste and replace. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it should run this time. So I'll come here, load custom organ, select sentence again. Okay, okay. Yes, it does load, and it's loading up. Finish. So the short name for the division has to be 5 letters, not more than 5 letters. And as you can see, the stops now show up. Oh, I forgot to show the stops on the next page. Again, we have brake showing here, we have pedal showing here. Again, I'll move things in place before I end the video. But now if I click on Bombard 32, you can hear that Bombard. It's it's sounding at 32-foot pitch instead of the regular 16 foot. And if I were to add this, that's the open bars. If I add the 4-foot mixture rank, that kind of sounds weird. Also, you can see our expression pedal is there. Our general pistons are here. I don't have anything selected, but if I were to select two and I were to click one of the general pistons, since we don't have them attached to anything, immediately it closes up. I select trumpet and select this, for instance. You can hear the trumpet sound. Open the piston 8, and all three together sounds something like this. So what we're going to do real quick is show these stops on the other pages real quick before we end the video. So right now I would click on the great stop, and I'll click also show on second page. So our great is on which page? It's on the right. Okay, so and show on second page and right stop jam. and come back here to the right stop jam, and I can just position this like right here, and then come back to the console. um, which stop did I pick? That was the grade open. Okay, so next I'll pick the grade mixture. So also on second page, right stop jam. Come here again, pick this and select this, and then come back here and then select the third stop and show on second page, and set that to right stop jam again. So we'll come to the right stop jam, and I can come right here and just position it. I'll look at the position for this, for the X, which is 16, 18, 16. Okay, so they're both positioned together. And then we'll go back to the console. I'll select one of the pedal stops, and again also show on second page, but this time left stop jam. And now when we go to left stop jam, you can see the bombard stop there. I might go ahead and put this right here and just move this like right about here, and come back to the console, choose the second stop, also show on second page, and left stop jam again. And now when we go to the left stop jam, I can just go ahead and drag this and set it kind of like right there. Let me look at the Y position of this 260. Okay, they're both in line. And then finally, we can come back to the console, and the final one, I'm going to click show also on second page and click left stop jam again. And now when we go back to the left stop jam, I can come here and just move this in place. 384, 260, what's the X position? Yeah, the X position 692. Okay, so I'll set this to 692 also, so they both lined up. 692. Fine. And I think everything is in line, so I'll click export and export to the desktop. This time all we're going to have to do is just copy the organ definition, because we didn't like add any images or add any new stops. So I'm just going to update the organ definition alone without doing the packages. So now load custom organ. We select sentence again, click OK, and click OK. Fantastic. And it loads fine. So I'm just going to close out all this. And now when we come to, you can see we're already on the left stop jam. You can see the pedals. Again, if I open like the Bombardier, if I go to the console, you can see it's already open there too. So just the same. And the right stop jam is right here. And you can see I can open this too. And when I go to the console, they're both open too. And just like that, if I come to the right jam, it's also open there. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Just something to show real quick on how we could just do something like this real quick. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much, and God bless.